You know, I've been listening to a lot of the old hymns. I love the old hymns. I don't know about you, but they speak from the deepest recesses of the heart. And one of my favorite hymns is the hymn, "It Is Well With My Soul." I don't know if you know the backstory to this hymn, but I want to share it with you real briefly before I share what I'm going to teach on, because I believe that you're going to see how it ties together. But this hymn was penned by a man named Horatio Spafford, who was a successful lawyer, businessman in Chicago. He had a beautiful family, Anna, and 5 children. However, he was not, and his family, they weren't strangers to tears and tragedy. They lost a young son in 1871. He died from pneumonia. In about the same year, they lost their business in the Chicago fire. But God's mercy, God's goodness, God's love allowed them to rebuild their business, and they flourished once again. They became prosperous. So in 1873, they decide to take a trip to Europe. So he buys passage for his family on this French ocean liner. And they're about to board when all of a sudden he finds out that he has to stay behind to attend to some business. So he tells his wife, Anna, go on ahead with the children and I'll join you on the next ocean liner. Well, about 4 days into the trip, in the middle of the Atlantic, the ocean liner that Anna and the children were on collides with another ship, and the ocean liner is in danger of sinking. Well, Anna hurriedly brings her 4 children to the deck of the boat, and they kneel there and they start to pray. And she prayed that God would spare them, and if that would be His will, or make them willing to endure whatever awaited them. Within approximately 12 minutes, the ship sinks, and along with 226 people, and those 4 children were among those 226 people. Well, a sailor rowing a small boat over the spot where the ship went down spots a woman floating on a piece of wreckage, and it turned to be Anna the wife. So she's rescued, and upon arriving in Wales, she sends a telegram to her husband, "Saved alone, what shall I do?" Well, Mr. Spafford books a passage on the next available ship and leaves to join his grieving wife. When the ship was about 4 days out, the captain calls Mr. Spafford up to his cabin and tells him, "Mr. Spafford, we are at the site where the ship went down and your children drowned." Well, the story goes that Mr. Spafford goes out to the rail and overlooks into the dark, murky waters. And of course, he's overwhelmed with grief. But from there, he pens this hymn, "It Is Well With My Soul." I think that is so powerful, because here's a man that's lost his 4 children, and yet his faith in God, he's saying, it. What is it? And the hymn goes like this: "When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul." Well, it, that word, 2 letters, and yet is so big and means so much. I mean, we say it so much. It troubles me. It fatigues me. It shames me. It is a disease that I can't heal. It is a job that we can't stomach. It is a marriage we can't fix. It is the rage that we can't tame. It hurts. It looms over life. 2 towering letters, tall and defiant. It. They march like a monster. Each step a thud. Each thud an earthquake. It. Look out. Here comes it. Here it comes. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. It overshadows, intimidates us all. Everyone, that is, except people who take it to Jesus in prayer. So that's what I want to share with you, because a lot of us go through that. It hurts. It is impossible. It is beyond comprehension. It has offended me. So I want to share a story with you about a Roman soldier. He was a centurion, and he held unquestioned authority over his men. Yet there was something special about this particular officer, and he loved his servant. He says in Matthew chapter 8, verses 6 to 7, he goes to Jesus and says, "Lord, my servant is lying at home paralyzed, dreadfully tormented." And Jesus said to him, I will come and heal him. The soldier's prayer was really simple. He simply stated a fact. My servant is lying at home paralyzed, dreadfully tormented. That was enough to set Jesus in motion. I think a lot of times when we think it is impossible, we think that we have to have this huge prayer, but in reality, Jesus is moved simply by our faith. He turned immediately and began to walk in the direction of the centurion's house. But the officer stops him. He says, Lord, I'm not worthy that you should come under my roof, but only speak a word and my servant will be healed. For I also am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I said to this one, go, and he goes. And to another one, come, and he comes. And to my servant, do this, and he does it. He understood the power of authority. And Jesus understood that this man knew what it was to bring it under authority. The centurion understood the dynamic of authority because he was a man under authority and a man with authority. His superior sent directives to him and he obeyed. He commanded and his soldiers obeyed. They didn't question his decisions. The Roman army respected the chain of command, and the centurion knew authority when he saw it, and he saw authority in Jesus. Only speak a word and my servant will be healed. Jesus marveled and said to those who followed, assuredly I say to you, I have not found such great faith, not even in Israel. Go your way, and as you have believed, so let it be done for you. And his servant was healed that same hour. See, this was a centurion's confidence in Jesus that ran deep. The confidence that he could bring it is impossible to Jesus, and Jesus could make it possible. Jesus could handle the request long distance. Just a word from Jesus would suffice. Jesus was stunned. Finally, his response implies, someone understands my authority. So my question is, do you? Do you understand the authority that Jesus carries in your life? He sustains everything by the mighty power of his command. God exalted him to the highest place and gave him the name that's above every other name. The Roman government tried to intimidate him. False religion tried to silence him. The devil tried to kill him. All failed. Even death was no match for him. Jesus disarmed the spiritual rulers and authorities. He shamed them publicly by his victory over them on the cross. He was not kidding when he declared, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. So Jesus is the command center of the galaxies. 2 sparrows cost only a penny, but not even one of them can die without your Father's knowing it. He occupies a greater office than the Oval Office. He called a coin out of the mouth of a fish. He stopped the waves with a word. He spoke and a tree withered. He spoke again and a basket became a banquet. That's authority over the economy, meteorology, botany, food supply. And all things have been handed over to me by my Father, is what Jesus said. And that includes Satan. The devil was soundly defeated by Christ on the cross. Jesus outranks him in every situation. He must obey Jesus, and he knows it. Here's the point to all this, ladies and gentlemen. Prayers offered in the name of Jesus have divine power to demolish strongholds. They have the divine power to demolish. It is impossible. It hurts. It is something that I can't deal with anymore. I said demolish, not damage or hamper, but demolish. Prayer falls on strongholds like lit matches on a dry bale of hay. He's the one that said while hanging on the cross, dying to pay for every it in your life. He said, it is finished. It troubles you. It fatigues you. It shames you. It is a disease you can't heal. It is the job you can't stomach. It is the marriage you can't fix. It is the rage you can't tame. It hurts. It looms over your life. Whatever it is, bring it to the authority of Jesus and then speak to it and just say, it is finished with you because my Jesus has defeated you. It is finished. I'm praying for you. I love you. God bless you. We'll see you again.